Speaking of technical issues, welcome to the Kill Team Casuals. As I brought up the 3 incorrect images to start with, but now we're in our pretty boxes. You can see the pretty faces, and I'm joined, of course, by Ben from Battle Brothers Tabletop.
That's me. I'm pretty face number 2, passing it over to pretty face number 3, Russ from GFN Gaming.
This guy, thank you very much, and passing it back over to pretty face numero uno, Reese from Threes to Wound.
That's our new favorite film credit. Pretty Face number 1, 2, and 3. It was a great film that we were all in as those pretty faces. And casting was not thorough. So well done to us for getting that part and doing our darndest.
I think the problem is most casting directors aren't blind. You know what I mean? I think this one was. That's why I think we were able to stumble our way in.
Most of it was talking facing the the way, and it was like it's like.
My God, your faces feel handsome. In you go.
I didn't even get that. I had to put a mask up first, just otherwise.
Oh, damn. G'day to everyone in the chat. Dr. Zero Hour already in there. Lowbrow High Life. We've got Academic Chris. Welcome. We love having everyone joining us live.
Zach.
I love it. On Twitch, on YouTube, we are live on those channels. So if you're listening on the podcast and you want to get the full experience, do your darndest to find us here live on those platforms because we love being able to hear your direct feedback as we meander through Kill Team and tell you our thoughts and feelings about what's going on. But to be honest, lads, it's been a little quiet, hasn't it, on the Kill Team front?
Kill Team's dead. Are we? Is this? Oh, you know what? It's been a while. It's been a while since we've had a Kill Team's Dead episode. Maybe. No. We're in the moment after this is the gulp after the explosion. Everything's come out, and then we're in the drawing of.
We're in a post
before the next.
We're living in a post Tomb world. You know what I mean? At this point, and so the dust is still settling. I feel.
We got
kind of like recovering from that.
Well, that's it, because it was not just the big Tomb World drop, but then obviously also the new Crit Op cards as well, and Tac Ops, which has been a huge shake-up to a lot of things, because I think, there was a lot of comfort level now with a lot of people with the previous sets of Tac Ops, which it was like, if you take this team, this is the no-brainer. If you take this team, this is the no-brainer. Yeah. And now we're hitting that line now where there's been 4 or 5 bigger tournaments going on, and we're starting to see things shake out, which teams are starting to perform well. I think, we're talking the green room, some teams that maybe surprised us with little resurgences, some going into the gutter. But Ben, you've got some stories to tell. Speaking of tournaments, you went to one very recently and had some, look, it's going to be tough to beat my 12th, but let's see if you did any better at your tournament.
Yeah, so I did about that's pretty impressive, Reese. I do want to say, let's just have a round of golf claps or whatever for Reese. 12, that rules, dude. Top 12,
top 12, baby.
Top 12.
Yeah. So I went to Crucible. Yeah. Out of a 12-man tournament, top 12. Dude.
It was actually 11. One guy didn't show up, but
one guy died, and out of respect, they gave him that place. So I came in after the dead guy. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. So Crucible is sort of like our big event in Florida. It's the golden ticket event that doesn't happen at Warpfire. Happens in Orlando. I won it last year with Nemesis Claw. And won first place. And then, gentlemen, back-to-back years. You're looking at the two-time and back-to-back champ. Took down Crucible this year. And so last year, I won. We call it a Shark Tank. It was a very small event, like 10 people. Yeah. But it had a golden ticket. And I won. I had to beat Dawson, who was an excellent player. But it was very small. Like, it was kind of a crap show. You're a 1 in 10 chance.
You're a 1 in 10 chance of getting it.
Yeah, and this year we had like 50 players, so it exploded in growth.
Wow.
It was an awesome event this year, 6 rounds, and I ended up going 5 wins, 0 losses, and 1 tie.
Ooh.
And I played some great games. The tie still bothers me. I played against a gentleman called Joe from a sister podcast. Gentleman Joe, yes,
Gentleman Joe.
From the podcast Vox Scream, the Vox Scream podcast. Yeah. And so that was my tie. I hadn't quite processed what the wall of text that is flank is, the tack on.
Yes.
Yeah, I sort of misunderstood that, and it bit me in the butt. He played a great game, and so that was my tie. But if you want, we can just walk through. I should probably say I played Koptic Circle. I had like three games, two of which were real, and all three of those games I got my rules kind of wrong. So I was going in pretty raw.
There's a bit to them. Like it doesn't seem that difficult, but once you have to work out the node and getting the nodes right and working out how to maximize that, it's not quite as big a layup as like the Ravener tunnel. I feel like there's a lot more juggling with the nodes in comparison.
Yeah. Like there's a few things like I think people are going to get wrong when you're shooting through. To get your ceaseless, you can't just be on the line. You have to be shooting through an intervening matrix. So like your big bugs have to be sitting like if they're like on it, if they're in the middle of it, then you have to pull from the back of their base, which sometimes needs to be obscuring shots. Like there's some things people have to adjust to.
It's not on as well. It's just through intervening matrix. Is
intervening, yeah. So you can get cheesy by
intervening.
Correct. Yeah. So you can stand on it and then pull the intervening from the back of your base, which is cheesy. It feels cheesy. But that's there's little stuff like that I think people are going to get wrong. But yeah, so the team is awesome. I ended up going. Let's pull up my BCP. So game 1 was against a guy called Mark playing Hunter Clade. By the way, guys, Hunter Clade kind of sick. Hunter Clade is sick as hell.
I love that you see the Hunter Clade though. Yeah.
Yeah, I panicked. I saw them. I was like, I don't know what they do. I have no clue. Turns out the Rust Stalkers, all of them fight twice. And then once one guy per turn gets to double strike, and each of his fight twices. Yeah,
in each of them. Ooh.
Yeah, it's nuts. I didn't know any of this. I found out though, and so that game.
Quick.
Yeah, pretty quick. So that was a score. I won that one 16-8. And so it was basically in that game. What ended up happening is the Canoptech, I was doing my Canoptech thing. I was pushing my nodes around. And something I learned just to maybe preamble before we talk about this is a few things like Canoptech. There's like a couple of cheat codes I think you can sort of understand before you start playing them is never put your nodes in a triangle. That's a bad move. So never
even though it looks like Diamond Dallas Page, even though it's a cool
even though it looks rad as hell, you don't want to do it. It's a trap. You want to like sort of keep it, in like a V or an L sort of formation. And so that's one thing. And number 2 is your reanimator and your comms bug kind of don't really need to leave your deployment zone turn 1 because you can still res people within 6. So like as long as you don't have to push them up. Because if your reanimator dies early, you're done, dude. It sucks. Yeah. And so you basically keep it in your DZ, it's fine. And then you just castle up. I really never moved further than the mid board all game. But I staged up and I just had to eat wave after wave of Rust Stalker. And I think turn 1, there's a fun thing I remember from this game. He put up his like Dictat or something up on Vantage. And in my last activation, I moved my Geomancer. I was like, you know what? I don't give a heck. I want to go and engage. Throw a rock. And so where you blow up the terrain. And I rolled like an 11 and did like 3 damage to this thing. And then I on counteract, I did it again. Boom, killed the model outright. Top in turn 1. So I was like, dang, down the model turn 1. Yahtzee's feeling pretty good. And so what ended up just happening is he would charge in a guy, spin a CP, make you fight this other loser. Then he fights me, then I kill him, then I heal up, rinse and repeat sort of every turn essentially. Then with just a scratch in the mix. And my Geomancer that game ended. I did the math. They ended the game with 52 wounds effectively after heals, which is just nuts. Yeah, crazy. And so that was a good game. Hunter Clade are sick, but
but Canoptic are better.
Yeah, like, it's no joke, dude.
I just want to quickly jump in just in the chat as well and just highlight a particularly great comment over there from Kill Team Garage. Hello from Denmark. Now I'm going to bed. Love 2 of you guys. You can pick who. I'm drunk. That is one of the best dine and dash messages that I've seen. That's a drive-by with the best of them. So we've also got Plays with Soldiers is saying, hi guys, finally caught you guys live. Scott from Kill Team Lancashire. Oh. It's not London. I don't know where that is.
Scott. So this is...
It says not Steve
episode,
in brackets.
Yeah, on our last episode, we did a shout out to Kill Team Lancashire, and I forgot his name and called him David/Stephen, and turns out it's Scott, so I got it wrong twice. So I do owe him a beer next time I see him, if I even remember I've seen him, because obviously I am not great with names and/or faces apparently.
And just wanted to highlight too in the chat there as well, Ben. Obviously, we're talking about your amazing back-to-backs, but Dr. Zero Hour has highlighted that he finished 9th last year when you had 9 or 10 people, but then he's followed up with a 9th with the 50 people this year. So back-to-back 9th places.
Consistency is key.
Yeah, regardless of numbers of opponent, he likes the number 9.
Yeah, Zach's been putting in the work, dude. He's been putting the work. I think he was playing Exaction Squad too. So to pull 9 with Exaction is honestly that's kudos, dude. That's pretty big.
Yeah. Nice.
For TAC Ops in this game, I went Retrieval. I actually went Retrieval every single game of this tournament, just because Retrieval's I can understand this.
Is this
it's
Infiltrate?
Good.
No, is this the Infiltrate one?
Recon, yeah.
Okay, this is
and it's the one where
so you tap an objective. Yeah. That model is instantly carrying a token now.
Okay.
And so you score a point because you tapped an objective, and at the end of the game, you score an extra point for each objective a model is holding. So works really good to suicide a little worthless piss bug to go tap a point. Who cares? When I die, I'll move it an inch closer to my DZ, and then I'll respawn and go pick it up again, rinse and repeat. You know what I mean? So works really good with that.
That seems to be one that I found at my tournament. A lot of people are starting to play that because that's it. It's kind of a lot of benefit to you getting the objectives anyway, pushing forward quickly, throwing it on there, and then nearly working backwards. Then you get the next one. Then you get the next one. It's seeming like that's becoming a bit of a favorite amongst the teams that can take it for sure.
Yeah, and it's hard to max. The thing is, I took it every game, and I think I only scored 5 on it once. It's a brain dead 4 points for Canoptech.
Yeah,
but it's harder to get that 5 and 6, and so I kept going crit primary and just, trying to crush the crit as hard as possible. Mm-hmm. But they have a cool thing where because of the nodes, the Geomancer can tap a node and objective anywhere on the table as long as that node controls it, and boom, now you're holding that Retrieval that's 18 inches away, whatever it is, which is kind of crazy.
Pretty powerful.
So a lot of synergy there. Yeah, so that's my game with Hunter Clade, 16 to 8. Canoptech just doing the Canoptech things. Next game was into a Florida man called Steven Shami. He's a local, he's a lovely man. He's running Harnkin Jaegers. Shami, I hope you're listening. The score was 16 to 4, and poor Harnkin Jaegers. I think they live in a hard life, dude. Jaegers
don't have the tools.
Kind of hard. Yeah, they don't really have the tools. And into my guys, we're like, you charge me and you kill me, cool. I do maybe I do D3 mortal wounds to you, all these types of things popping off with my little bugs. And so they were able to crush the crit there. And I think he had one model left. I think a lot of my games actually ended that way with one model left. And so I castled up and I threatened with one of my bugs, and he took a bite at me, I think turn 1. I yeeted up, and he was like, well, I think I'm going to try and get the ball rolling early. Shot me, killed me. I blew up, did damage to him, and then I was able to sort of retaliate. And because somebody was on engage over there, it gave me some early leverage to be able to start doing damage early turn 2. And something that I was trying to do with this team every game is I was really never the aggressor with Koptic Circle. Basically you castle up, and if they want to come shoot your Geomancer, cool, you spend a CP, and now they have to shoot the little worthless bug next to you. Cool, the next time they do it, you're going to just scratch it. Cool, the next time they do it and they actually get some damage through, then you can heal up 3d3. And then and then if they kill you, you resurrect that turn. Yeah, and
this
then
is all
when you
sounding
activate,
awful Necrons, I must say.
Oh yeah, but it gets worse, because then once you come back to life, the Geomancer just commands the bug to heal them another 3d3.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it's the next turn. And guess what? The Get Down, Mr. President is back online. The Just a Scratch is back online. You have enough wounds to tank one attack. And so, like, it's just too much to beat down. So, like, the reason why this team is so strong is just a hat on a hat on a hat on a hat on a hat. You have to get through the Get Down, Mr. President, then a Just a Scratch, then a damage reduction. Like, it's just too much for anybody to get through.
Yeah.
And with against the Jaegers, they just did not have it in that matchup. And so shout out to Shami. He's a lovely fellow. I love Shami. Moving to round 3. Oh, yeah.
Go, Russ.
I was going to say, was it mainly Vulcus into Tomb World, or what was the split?
Oh, yeah. I should probably mention that. So far, both
First
games
game
have
was
been on
Vulcus,
open.
by the way you sounded.
Yeah. So all 3 of my day ones were on Vulcus. And basically, like that last game with Shami just consisted of I would pick, this is kind of what I did every game. I pick my home point and I pick the middle point. I'm going to own those. I'm going to crush everything else, everything that wants to live there. And I couldn't care less about the enemy home point.
Yeah.
Aside from tapping it for retrieval. I think in this matchup, I took cracks on the bugs, which was kind of sick.
Interesting.
Because if you shoot through
normally using the Gauss, which is P1 anyway, but less damage because it's piddly damage. Interesting.
So the 4-5 is no joke. And if you get it through you want to shoot it through the matrix, so you get 4-5 ceaseless, like,
as well.
Pretty
accurate
good.
Too.
Yeah.
Oh,
and so actually, you don't get the accurate 2.
I was going to say,
the accurate 2 is only on your data sheet. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But still, ceaseless crack is good.
I reckon a few people might have tried to get away with that one.
Yeah, people have been using it and being not been taking ceaseless when they're on it as opposed to shooting through it. So they've been taking accurate 2 and ceaseless. So it'd be interesting to reread that rule and be like, you can't be on it. Although but what you were saying is they could be on it shooting behind it. But I guess if you picked a point that's not on it, they wouldn't have accurate 2. So you can either pick accurate. Do you think that's a mistake? Do you think they were meant to have accurate 2 and ceaseless?
I think so. Well, it's hard.
Yeah.
Maybe not, because I tell you what. I'm real high on the team right now. I think this is probably exactly as it was intended.
Intention was to make them relentless.
Rules as intended, Russ. Okay.
Yeah. So poor Jaegers, they don't got it like that. Moving into today to round 3, this is a matchup into Joe Gallo, and he was taking Tempestus Aqualons. And so this game ended up being, this is my one tie.
They're popping up,
dude.
Aqualons
are going strength to strength now.
Yeah, Aqualons are super sick. And so we match up, like, dope, get to play Joe. I know he's a fellow podcaster. I see the Aqualons, and it just sort of, it piqued my interest. I was like, there's something going on here. Like, I'm not hip to why this team is sick yet, but this team's got to be sick. I just, so
there's something.
And so we match up, and like the thing about Aqualons is that if you play the game, if you attempt to play the game turns 1 and 2, you just lose. You get just blasted to oblivion because they drop down on the mark and you're dead. So we load up, and I played a very, very cagey turn 1 where I basically passed with my entire team almost. I shuffled my big bugs around because you want everybody in range of your Geomancer to be able to command all the kind of good stuff. Turn 2 comes up. I play it super, super passive. He drops down all of his guys. Okay, now I know where my guys are. I moved a guy out, or I moved up a little bug to go take a shot. Because again, something that I like to do with little bugs is just to get the ball rolling on. Sometimes when you shoot out a guy to go shoot something, people will just like instinctively shoot back.
Yeah,
like that's reactive. Kind of, even though you don't need to, you just kind of wait. People, like to be, so I just like to bait that out whenever I can with the little bugs. And so something that I was also doing was taking stuns. And so I took stuns on the little bugs because that's also good. Because if you're 3 APL, you move, shoot, and stun. That's pretty good. Like, I got a lot of use out
getting 3 APL by using the nodes as well. That's obviously having to be, is it on the node you get the extra APL?
Yeah. And something I would do is going into turn 2, I tried to have 2 people with 3 APL each time, because like your little bug is going to pass it off to somebody, and then when your Geomancer activates, you can command them to give it out again. So like there's the higher-tech restriction of you can't do the same action, same turning point is just not it's not here at all. And so you can have up to 3d3 heals a turn between doing it in an activation, commanding it, and then counteracting it. And so it's disgusting. Yeah. So I set up. We were on a long board, and I got or short edge was a hamburger deployment. I got the real bad side. He won the roll off, picked the side, made the right choice. I'm on the awful side, real bad. He's got the good stuff. I got the bad stuff. So I just passing. Turn 2, I yeet up a bug. We're gonna rip some shots. I think he ends up trying to take a shot. It doesn't, it doesn't work out. It doesn't quite kill me. That bug ends up blowing up, doing D3, whatever. And we end that turn essentially with most of my guys are still hanging back because that's what you do. And he, as sort of a turn 3 gambit, moved up his Melt-A-Bomber. And so he was telling me that we thought the Melt-A-Bomb was a 1-inch blast on it, which I'm really glad it doesn't. But I was operating under the assumption that it was, and because we just both thought it was, because pro kill teamers, we thought it was.
Yeah, top. No wonder you won.
And so, and so he's got this guy here. I made sure to stage my Geo, my Fat Bug, and my Little Bugs just, again, in my deployment zone. Haven't left yet because I couldn't move, behind a big L and behind the small stronghold in my deployment zone. And he's like 3 inches away, essentially. And so we go to the roll-off. I've got like a +3 and a reroll or something. And he has his faction reroll. You would think I'd get it out okay, but I didn't. And so he wins the roll-off. And I'm thinking, oh no, dude, here I am, I'm cooked. I'm gonna eat a Melt-A-Bomb on either my Geomancer, my bug, or my Reanimator behind the corner.
Yeah.
And I was like, this could be rough. And so he opts instead to throw a frag grenade at my big bug, which would then hit a little tiny loser bug and my Reanimator. And so I'm thinking, oh yeah, dude, you could any day of the week throw that thing. I don't care. Like I'll be fine, right?
Yeah.
So he chucks it, and he rolls crits like a mofo, dude. Like he drops my Reanimator down to 1 wound. Ooh. Like 1 wound on my Reanimator. So I got real lucky there. But like I got lucky. He was rolling some hot 6s on there as well. And so drops my Reanimator down to 1 wound. Like, this is bad. Does some chip damage to everything else. I counter with, I think I charge him with a big bug or something like that, and just charge pass, because he's got 11 guys. He's got a turret and a Melta and a plasma and a sniper. Just too many things to be able to rip back into me. Yeah. So I'm really kind of at this point playing for turn 4 if I can, and then I get a stun off on his Melta gunner with one of my bugs, which was huge. Because it just meant he wasn't going to hit me with his Melta, which is super important. This happened on the other side of the board. I move up, I'm down on crit. I'm down on attack as well, just because you can't really play the game. And so at this point, I'm looking to make up for it. I've retrieved 1 point at this point, and I'm just looking to make up as much as I can. I'm looking at the score, and he showed me that he had flank in turn 2. I was like, okay, cool. I didn't read it. I'm thinking, okay, he's got more APL in my flank. I'll just move into that flank and deny. Awesome. And to be fair, Joe told it to me. He explained it to me. He's a very good opponent. I'm just a big dumb idiot head, and I didn't realize to deny them being in your flank, you have to go then be in their side of the board.
Yeah, it's turn it off by being on their flank.
Really. Yeah, very difficult for Koptic Circle. And so I'm thinking, ho-de-do-de-do, cool, I've denied this for like a turn. I realized, oh no, he's been maxing turns 2 and 3. What am I going to do? This is bad. And so I'm starting to look at the score. I'm thinking, oh no, dude, I don't know how I'm going to win this one, because I think I'm going to lose. And there's also energy cells where you pick up the objective and run away with it.
Yes.
It's like, I'm not a fast team. I can give somebody a 5-inch fly, but I'm a slow team. And so I'm looking at everything like, ooh, this is kind of rough. And so long story short, I get off a triple blast, I think, on some operatives and a throw rock, and I'm able to sort of, I think I got up to kill op 3, which is probably 5 or 6 models dead, I imagine, 6 or 7, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I dropped 1 point on the kill op because he killed, I think, one of my big bugs. But again, just like he would shoot in, I'd heal up, and then the next time he'd shoot, I'd just scratch. The too many layers, so many defensive layers.
Yeah.
My Geomancer lived through the whole game. My Geomancer only died once in the entire tournament. Wow. And so like we end up coming down to it, and I'm seeing like, oh no, I'm behind because I didn't stop flank. I also didn't score very well that game. It's super hard to push up. And so I see this, okay, I have to go stand out on this point with my bug and throw a stun, or I did a shooting attack or something. But I was like, we're just going to go stand on here. And I had my nodes shuffled around. I'm going to go stand on the node with like 4 Tempestus Scions all around me. And I've got to eat like 2 rounds of shooting and to tie the game. And so I was like, so I set everything up and I'm trying to push it off until the very last moment. I yeet him out there and I'm like, yeah, this has to work. He went and retrieval a point, I think, just to go get me an extra point. But then if he died, it was a bit of bad time. And so long story short, he eats 2 shooting attacks. He lives on like 1 or 2 wounds. Oh. And it's a tie game. So super, super close game. This is a 1 tie. Joe was a good opponent. And we had a great match. It was a high level game, but it wasn't super sweaty or anything. So that was my tie. Aquilons are sick, guys. They punish you for playing the game, and it's very difficult to deny flank on them. Like super sick. Sort of opened my eyes to how good Aquilons actually are. So like, I would honestly, maybe you should consider them, Reese. If you're like, they are super sick.
Yeah, it's one of those things I love seeing now. Like, and we'll probably chat a bit more off the back, but what the change has made that there's some teams that were maybe not getting play are starting to get play again. And I always think that's the sign of a healthy or a good change within, like within the meta, if you will, at the time. It's good to see a team like the Aqualons who have had some highs and lows, and that's not a jump pack pun. Good to see. To me, they're a team I like seeing out on the table because I think they're thematic. They play in a unique way. It's cool to see teams like that out there, which is really cool.
I want to see Kazakin winning a tournament. I'd love to see that.
This might be as close as you get is the Aqualons.
Yeah. Aqualons are so good. So they sort of opened my eyes.
So you ended 2 wins and a draw. Day 1. Yeah. 2 wins and a draw. That's pretty solid. You're probably going into a tough day 2 on 2 wins and a draw, I'd say.
Yeah, and so I'm feeling pretty good. We go out, we have some just a brief moment to tell you my night because it's important for the next day. Where we go, we're drinking some bourbon and cold brew. It just sort of like some gentlemen having some lovely conversation in our hotel room. Maybe the cold brew in there makes the bourbon go down perhaps a little too easy, if you catch my drift. And so we end up going to dinner with the Warp Fire boys, and so we're sitting at the dinner table. We're having a good time. The drinks are flowing. My memory is starting to get a little foggy, and make it back to my hotel room by the grace of God, and I wake up the next morning in sort of a bit of a fog with a nasty headache, and my only memory is sitting at the table saying prima nocta a very embarrassing amount of times. And so I'm like, God, why was I saying prima nocta? I just remember it, and it sort of all came to me. And then I kept offering people my food before I had a taste of it, and so I kept declaring prima nocta in the middle of this restaurant. By the Warp Fire buddies.
Kill team.
Yeah. So the prima nocta, and this is a Braveheart reference.
Yes. If anyone doesn't
Google
know.
That. Here's a Google. Yeah. So I come to in the middle of round 1 the next day, and who am I playing? None but Mark Meyer. He is another one of the Vox Scream guys. So I ran the Vox Scream Gauntlet and ended up playing Raveners. And so in my head, I was thinking, Raveners. This was a tough one, guys. This was super tough.
Yeah.
So I ended up, I was thinking, me and my opponent, Mark, who's, again, just a total stud, we were chatting, we're like, hey, nodes go through walls, right? on ITD? And we were like, yeah, I think so. Like they probably should, right? I was like, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get this, the TOs over just in case. And so my first real, unfoggy memory was the judges ruling against the nodes going through walls. And it really quite sobered me up a little bit. And
crying so hysterically will do that. I think.
Yeah. And I had never played on Into the Dark before with this team. Again, I had like 2 real games. And so like, okay, I guess we just got to freaking dog this one out. And so we'll see. And so we played again with Raveners, played a very so with on Into the Dark, it's a little harder to be on your node, so you have to open doors you maybe wouldn't normally open just to make sure you can cover the same ground. And so with Raveners, I had yet to play a really good Raveners player. And Mark was good. A good Ravener player, guys, is tough, and I think it's actually a tough matchup for Koptic. And so
their tunnels can go through any terrain, it says, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Whereas the node, I think I read it recently, so the matrix, the node itself isn't a matrix unless it's within 6 of another node, isn't it? So you don't get the benefit of being on the marker. So Into the Dark, you either have to commit to a room or make sure you're blowing up enough doors that you can link together a couple of rooms. But it's actually oddly tricky for Koptic Into the Dark
into their own tomb world.
Yeah, it feels like their own tomb world's actually quite tricky to. You can secure a room, but hitting on 4s outside of a node, it's actually pretty tricky for a team. It's kind of rough. It's a rough situation for a team in their home ground, in their home field, so to speak.
Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, so this one I think was loot, and so we load up. And he's doing the cheeky Raveners thing where you just don't show your face at all.
Yeah,
it's cool. I win turn 2 initiative, and so my game plan here is, okay, I'm going to own the board. I'm going to crush crit. Crit is my primary, and so I first activation, I go run a bug out and I tap his home point, and like boom, and I know that okay, I'm going to be giving him a charge pass, like to be someone to charge pass on, but I think it's worth it to make sure he doesn't even get a point on crit. And so I go tap his point, feeling like a king. Like 2 bugs come out of the tunnel, charge, pass on him. I'm like, okay, this is starting to feel maybe not ideal.
There's a plan, and I fall into this trap.
And I fall into it. And then I ended up going to tap the other. So I no points could be tapped by him for crit. I max out. Turn 2, feeling good. I retrieval. I'm feeling good, man. Like we're maxing this turn. It's great. Next turn initiative, I go into turn 3. I basically have not left my deployment zone again. I shuffled up just as much as I needed to, while also always measuring. Like, important thing to ask a Ravener player is, hey, what's your maximum charge range coming out of this thing? Because you can measure in 7 inches from the thing, but they get an extra 40 millimeters of movement when they pop out. Plus an inch on top of that for engagement range. So it's important to work with your opponent. And again, Mark was lovely to be like, okay, what is the maximum charge coming out of here? Look, is this it? Correct. And so if you do that, it's easy to stay out of their engagement range. And so I, had things set up. And so he wins turn 2 initiative, and he goes and he taps a point. I'm like, okay, well, that's not he's sort of sitting on the points now. And I'm like, ugh, how am I going to tap any points this turn? This is looking kind of grisly. And so he taps a point. I fall back with my 1 bug that he was double engagement range with. And I'm thinking, okay, cool. No matter what you do, you can't charge me. And now I get to shoot somebody. If I get to shoot a bug with accurate and ceaseless, that's a dead bug. And so he jumps back into the hole with 1 of them. Cool. Leaves his leader out in the open. Awesome, dude. Best day of my life. Here comes the Dimensional Banisher, rolls up.
Love it.
I didn't get accurate on this because I wasn't on the node, but I was shooting through it, so I got my ceaseless. Just total whiff. 5 misses on the Dimensional Banisher. It's this was my shot. Because you just, a good Ravener player won't give you any shots on them at all.
That's it. Yeah, if you get that, you got to take it. You got to max it.
And then boom, so he falls back in like, oh no, this means I got to go into turn 3 against 5 full health Raveners. Like, what am I going to do?
Rough.
And so I start spreading my guys out. So like, okay, here's a worthless bug on this door. So you can't, you're going to have to charge, fight this guy on the door, deal with that. Same thing over here, yada, yada, yada. Keeping my guys back. And we go into, so turn 3, I was tap 1 point. So got 1 point crit, and I didn't get any retrieval because he had his home wrecker, or sorry, the wrecker. I call him the home wrecker. He had the wrecker on one flank, and then he had the guy with the antennas who charges out at you. The Trevor Scythe on the other one, and so he ended up, turn 2 no board control, turn 3 very much had board control, and I'm sort of pincered in the middle, and he's got a bug here, 2 on the side, sort of encroaching, and I'm like, this is I think it's starting to turn a little bit. So we go into turn 3, and that was turn 3. Anyways, going into big go time turn. He charged me and whiffed some attacks on my big, just the piercing bug, one of my tomb crawlers, whiffs. And the tomb crawlers, guys, with the damage reduction up, hard to kill. And so you're kind
of a lot of wounds already.
You got 5 attacks. Now that's down to 3-4. I'm 21 wounds. And I have accurate 2, so I'm parrying 2 of your hits. And so if you only get 4 hits, cool, I take 6 to 7 damage. I don't even care. And a double fight's not going to kill that. And so he double fights, and he whiffs so bad that I was like, well, I'm actually just pushing damage through. I don't even have to parry. And so I brought his leader down to 12 wounds or something like that. And by charging in, he gave me a blast attack. And so I shoot in my leader. The leader has this 1-3 blast attack with stun, which normally not that great, but on Into the Dark can be really good. And so I just slammed a whole bunch of crits, ended up killing 2 bugs in one shot with it. Nice. That had been chipped down a little bit. And that was a huge turning point. That sort of gave me some gas in the tank, boosted up my kill op. And I think I gave up 0 on kill op that game. It is 0 to 1 points that game, wow. I think. And so it ended up, I wasn't able to my second retrieval point, so I only scored 3 on retrieval that game. That was my worst game on retrieval, and that was a 12 to 10 win for me, and super tight game. I think both of us made a few mistakes on Into the Dark. That was my first game Into the Dark. Board presence was tough in that because everything's just so sick, and you can't get your matrix going like so it's hard to cover enough ground.
Dark.
And Raveners, dude, are tough.
Yeah, well, it feels like Raveners have got I almost think that I know they can't take as much cover because there's not loads of heavy. So there's scenarios where obviously you're back. Actually, can they take? It's been a while since I played them. Can they take cover behind light, or are they too big? Is that considered too big to take cover behind light? I forgot.
They can still take. I think they can take cover behind light.
Yeah, I don't think they're actually even.
Yeah,
anyway.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think they've got the ogre rule, which means they can't. Yeah.
But their tunnels going under the walls and being so combat efficient, it does feel like Into the Dark's kind of great for them because they've all got limited range shooting, 3-inch range, but most rooms they can dash and shoot to get you, but they've got a full move, shoot, and dash if they need to. And the fact that they could potentially move to a doorway without having to charge, they can move into a doorway, shoot someone, and then fight a hatchway fight. I feel like they're such strong team, and conversely Necrons seem like oddly not as powerful. Like you got a Vulcus where the terrain is just your node is just limitless height shooting through. It seems like quite comfortably easy to get your ceaseless shooting, whereas it does seem quite tricky on Into the Dark, which is odd because it's their terrain. So that was I can see why that was a game that came quite close at 10-12. That makes sense to me in that scenario.
Interesting to see though too that a team like the Raveners, 5 models built to really their damage output is one of their strengths. But it's so interesting to see that even they struggled to put the hurt onto the Canoptics is very interesting as well. As you said, the ability to accurate 2 with the double parrying effectively, because said you're I don't care about doing damage. You've got the damage mitigation. You've got the ability to scratch. It's if the Raveners can't do the damage, who can? Is what my question.
If they're struggling,
Death Watch. I think you need the Death Watch hammer guy. Take somebody like that. But so that was a super close game. We're gonna try and steamroll these last 2, but we go round 5. It was at this point an undefeated Warmongers player, and his name is Nick Cummings. He's a Florida man, and I was like, oof, this seems like a tough team. I was really stressing this one just because Goremongers, you never know. Sometimes they suck, but also sometimes they just have all that you break upon. And so to make it worse,
Gormonger's match, if I'm honest, that's always a game where I'm like, this could go either way, but it's probably not going my way. Like this, like I did, like because they can shoot. They've got some amazing. They got ridiculous shooting sometimes.
Deceptively
like that.
good shooting.
Yeah, deceptively good shooting.
The leaders one, the wrist blades, the pistolier. You look past it for sure.
Yeah, you do look past it for a hard time, and then you're like, they're shooting better than me. So what do? Do I hide in combat? Absolutely not. So I do like it. I do like those games because it is sort of like you can get beaten in numerous ways by Goremongers. And they're so fast they can play the mission well as well. So it's a rough match always.
And to make it worse, I had to play them on Tomb World as well, which I had not yet played.
Oh, there you go.
And so I'm thinking, gosh, like there's a teleport pad. What am I even going to do here? I don't even know what I'm doing with my life. Yeah. And so I ended up staging heavy onto one side. I got the bad. And once again, which is a theme throughout the entire game, I was always losing, always getting the bad side of the board. And so... I basically send everybody off to one little idiot bug onto the right. Turn one, I end it just again. I'm in my deployment zone, eked up enough so I can move into these rooms and score my points. And I have one bug on the teleport pad just because that seems cool and that seems fun. I haven't used the teleport pad yet. Cool. Let's try it out. Yeah. And I forget who wins the roll off. Like essentially... turn one, I'm forgetting. He moves up two guys behind light cover and throws a smoke on himself. Ooh. And
can I ask, are you changing from Gauss to Tesla a lot through these games, or are you mainly picking one? Thanks.
I went the Gauss, I think the Gauss, whatever, Gauss. The piercing every time.
The P1. Every time. Every time.
And at this tournament, it was every time. It just seemed like piercing is always good, and like when the 5 dice is lethal 5, that could be.
That's what I was wondering. I was wondering if you went into them with like a Goremongers because their save's not great. I thought maybe you'd push weighted dice. I mean, piercing always works against a good save or a bad save anyway. But I was wondering, because I will credit the models. You never have to glue the weapons in; they just slot in. So I've painted both weapons so I can take them out.
Oh, nice!
So it's really easy to change them around. So I was just wondering if you were changing them around. And
I thought about it, but I opted just for the piercing because it's like I know piercing is always good. I want the math. I have to do the math though. I'd be curious to see how it maths out. I bet it's very similar.
5 attacks versus 4, isn't it?
Yeah, 2, 3, lethal 5 and 1, and then 3, 4 piercing 1, 4 dice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he goes on engage. You're good. Yeah, that's a good question. And so there's an opportunity for a turn 1 obscured shot, and I with my leader, I had to go on engage like through a door. But with Seek Light, I mean, he's kind of a villain on Tomb World with all that light terrain. If you use any of it, shabam. And so it's lethal 5 there. So I shoot him. I think I roll a bunch of crits, whatever, but I drop the hits because it is obscured. And I maybe do one. I was just hoping, can I do 2 damage on both these guys that they're killable in one shot? Next turn, that's all I cared about. Yeah. So I got some turn 1 action. I went on engage because sometimes, and when the threats are asymmetrical enough with the Geo, I like to try and farm any damage I can turn 1. Like any turn 1 damage is a seriously good compounding effect for this team. And so. It turned to whatever. I move up into the rooms, and he's busting holes in all the walls, and I'm just like, gosh, waiting for my doom to come in. And so again, like I've been using the little idiot bugs as bait pieces the whole game and the whole tournament. So I just be really aggressive with them, and I rip a shot, and I don't do much, and I teleport, which gets me within stun range of somebody. So I teleport, throw a stun somebody. So I'm really this turn I'm thinking, if I can just stop them from breaking through this turn and hurt their action economy, or force them to use their blood tanks to go up an APL when they don't need to, those are all good things. I'm just trying to stall, and so he's coming in, and again, like they're hard to kill in melee, but I am also hard to kill as well because they're 4-5 melee on 4 attacks, drops down to 3-4 when I'm on the Matrix, and so I put a big bug on a door because like. You double fight me, dude. You're not going to kill me. Like, it's just on math. You're not killing me. And so I did it, and I think I was able to kill one in return, but he fought me twice, and then I fought him and sort of cleared him off. on the middle point. So I'm sure you really can't visualize it, but there's a map where there's a middle room, and basically all of my guys are going to have to go awful side. And look, I'm looking through this door that he's busted down, and this is sort of the high point of the match. He's got his leader there and the head taker guy with a CP getting axe that gives you CP. And like, if they next turn get in this room, I think I probably lose the game, because like my reanimator has to be in that room. My geomancer has to be like, this is where I have to stand to get points in stage. And so I'm thinking, I know he's got someone left to activate over there, so I'm going to try and bait out this attack. And guess what? If he doesn't take the bait, at least I'll be standing in the doorway, which will stop him from being able to, just come through unfettered next turn. So I move, and I think I do a shooting attack and do like 2 damage or something. Well, he takes the bait and he charges in and he kills the guy. I blow up, do D3 wounds, whatever to him. And now what this gives me is a triple blast with my Geomancer's stun gun. And so it's like, okay, it happened perfectly lined up. I'm going to take the shot now before before anything else gets in the way. And so I take the shot, and I'm rolling hella crits, fellas. I'm not going to lie. I'm rolling hella crits. And so I blow everybody
crits
up
too on him as well.
No. This is the 1-3 damage gun, but it's stunned.
Yeah.
And so into a melee team, super good. And so I blowing him up for a bunch of lethal 5 crits, and I bring everybody down to like 2, 3, 4 wounds. Cool. I was like, all right, normally that would be end of the situation, but now I threw a rock. And so then I pick the point of the terrain, the door they're standing on, and I blow up that, and it's like, roll a 7, dead. There's your head taker, dead, just completely gone. Boom, roll an 8. Boom, there's your aspirant, and then roll an Yahtzee. There goes your leader. And so it was like just a pretty brutal. That was a backbreaking play, and I rolled like a dog there. but that was sort of like the highlight. And then after that, like, I didn't realize it going in, but between your shooting and throw rock with the Geomancer, and then dimensional banishment, that gun also gets around their whole only take 8 damage.
Oh, the 8 damage rule. Okay.
Yeah. So like, you're basically, if you ever shoot them when you're on a node, you damage essentially to a Gormonger on a 5-up save. And so very reliably lifting, because your bug, your tomb crawler is going to shoot, and you want to leave them somewhere where they have a secondary target, so that when your Geomancer enters the node, so like in that turn where I blew up those 3 guys, I started with, I'm going to command this bug who's already shot and killed to shoot and kill something else. Then I'm going to move in here, and I'm going to shoot and then blow up the rock. So like, it was sort of like a triple quad kill activation. So the 4 APL Geomancer is one of the strengths of the game. And so after I cleared up all the space in that room, that sort of gave me the breathing room I needed. And that was a 17-9 win to Nick. He's a total gentleman. He's through. His gentleman is a great game. And that puts me into my last game, which was, of course, had to be into my good old buddy, my brother in Warp Fire, Matt Wildung, fellow Florida Golden Ticket winner. He won, and his stupid Void Dancers and
Void Dancers, another interesting one.
Dude, Void Dancers are so cracked, it's insane.
Yeah.
And so Matt is an excellent player. And I'm like, gosh, dude, having to commit fratricide, whether I win or he wins, is never what you want. You know what I mean? Like, it feels bad. Like, I drove to the tournament with this guy. I play him every week.
Why the car trip was going to be awkward on the way home. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's just, gosh, dude, what a bummer. And so we end up playing. He's yeeting clowns at me like crazy. And like, it just, 8 wounds is an easy break point to hit with his team. And, he would charge in, and I would fight somebody else and whatever. But like, even still, like, their rending pistols are so annoying, where just, God forbid you roll a crit or 2, that shooting attack's gonna do 9 to 12 damage now. Like, it's just it's crazy. And so Void Dancer Troop, my least favorite team. They're just so annoying to play against. They're 4-up Feel No Pains as well, or 4-up Invulns. It's like, okay, sweet, that's 4 hits with my my 8 piercing 2 gun. All right, you should die. Womp, like 3 saves. Okay, cool, you take 4 damage. and now I can just
throw
go
in
kill myself.
cigarettes, just my bane. That's another one that comes up way
worst.
more than it should. I swear.
Yeah, it's evil. It's evil, dude. Yeah. So he jumps on me early, and I was, long story short, just able to withstand the storm, and pulled out a win, 17-9. And that was my last tournament of the game. Puts me up there as first place, and back to back Crucible champions. Feels pretty good. It was a great run. I felt like I was flying by the seat of my pants the whole time, though. Like playing a new team is stressful. Playing a team that's this complicated is stressful. Even though like they're cracked, they're so strong. But like I was just sort of flying by the seat of my pants, learning them kind of as the tournament went along.
Yeah,
which I think is just
shows
the
best place to learn,
how
isn't
strong they are. Yeah, it honestly is, dude. I 100% believe that it is. Like, because there's just a different, at least for me, I don't know about you guys, but there's a different state of mind that my brain is in a tournament. Even if I'm trying to play a competitive game on Friday night at the game shop, I just can't access that same level of brain power. So I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
Yeah, you can't recreate the being in the cauldron, which is a tournament of like this result matters. That change in mindset, it's like I want to beat this person versus, geez, if I don't win this game, I might, the knock-on effects and the ramifications and the weird tension of a lot of time playing people you don't know versus playing friends is also a different energy.
Yeah. No, I completely play differently at tournaments, and I've yet to be able to recreate that in a casual setting. I just don't feel it. Like the game doesn't matter at all. Whereas as soon as I hit a tournament, it's like, okay, I actually have to I'm really trying, and I'm getting real, not sweaty, but it's just like, okay, like the thing is, the better you do, the more it intensifies as well.
Yes.
Like if
the pressure builds, the more you do it, the better you're doing.
I was going to say, I think it was, I can't remember who it was, Vespers, but I was a 2-dayer, and the first day ended 3 wins. And I was like, this is like this first game on day 2, I was just like, okay, this now is the most important game of my life. And I'm going to, but like, you just can't recreate it. Like, so interesting. A few times in the thing, you said you, and it's something I used to do in the previous edition. You said, previous TAC Ops, the ones before the ones we just had. I guess that's previous edition. Is you say you basically flank up, and I've done it a few times in this season, in this new TAC Op, new crit op mission, where when you're playing the mission and you read the crit op, you kind of like, I only need 2 objectives.
Yeah.
And I end up myself just thinking, well, I'm not going to bother splitting my forces 3 equal ways like I might have done in the past. I'm just going to focus on this to get the middle and mine, and then stay there. I feel like you mentioned a few times you basically took a side and you had a little gribbly representing to maybe get retrieve, and then you basically are you finding that it basically focusing on 2 of the 3 objectives for crit is now the new way it plays, seeing as a perfect score of 21 seems to be a little bit elusive now, a little bit more like you can cope on a minimal score and win.
Yeah. My whole game plan for this was don't worry about scoring high, just win all your games. And I think Koptic, to be fair, have the ability to score higher than I scored. Again, I was sort of learning them, but on Into the Dark, I certainly castled up in one side heavier, just because it's hard to get, like, some of the new maps are weird. Some of the new maps are kind of odd.
Layouts,
got to take some adjusting to. But on open, like even on open, I would maybe deploy a little more, an even spread. But again, I'm never planning to rush down the enemy point with anything more than a single bug. But you keep that pressure on just so they have to consider it. But I'm going to stand on my home point and the middle point, and that's all I ever need. Like, none of my operatives outside of a little bug ever cross the middle of the board at all.
Yeah, it's an interesting to say, but I think that seems to be the Koptic way.
Yeah, they remind me of a mix if Death Guard and Sanctifiers had a baby. And in Higher-Tech Circle, Death Guard, like, that's this team, because you just castle up. Guys, I gave up 5 points on kill op over 6 games. Like, it's just crazy. Like, so many times, they would kill so many little bugs, and you'd rip so much damage into something, and they just heal it right back up. And it's demoralizing for your opponent to dump, 4 Ruststalkers into your Geomancer and never kill it.
You can imagine a lot of people say, I'm going into a 5 operative team, I'll take kill up. Because sometimes that's the old way of thinking. If you went into Elite, you might be like, I'll probably take kill up because they're probably going to have to come towards me, so I'm probably going to kill a bunch of them. And it's less, but it feels like a trap against Connectic to go kill because you get presented the bugs that just do nothing. Like I'd be surprised if anyone takes kill up into them. Yeah, there's no point doing it. But
it's I don't know how you found it as well, Ben, but it definitely seems that with the new combination of the way the objectives built, the new tac ops, that turn 4 is becoming like the new turn 3. You know what like you're playing the longer game probably like it wasn't as big a thing, but people looking for alpha strikes, and usually turn 4 was cleanup duty, if you will. But in the new way, it seems that turn 4, I mean, I found it in my thing, usually having a bit more left than you realize. Like it feels like it's a turn versus, all right, we can just map this out. It feels like there's more people playing longer games and playing to the end of it versus being able to go, oh, well, this is a wash after turning point 2. Did you find that as well?
Yeah, I think that's an excellent observation. Like I know all of my games were basically a game up until turn 4. Like, maybe 4 out of the 6, I'll say, were games up until turn 4. And even if it was, okay, like I'm in power, but like if things go right enough for this guy, there's a chance, like even that, like which is more than normal. So like some of the crit as well, like some of these crit ops, there's only 6 points total to score as well. So like you have to really fight for them, and sometimes like because of that, you're sort of holding back. And I think patience is important in the new crit op with certain teams. I think patience with Canoptech is important as well, because if you are going to be the aggressor, you're not long for this world. And so like, Hyrotech play the game by coming back to life. So you can yeet them out there and let them go do some stuff and die and come back. Well, this team, if you yeet them, then they're not coming back. So, the whole thing is Canoptech is strong because just if you have all the ploys up, right, nobody ever dies. And that's how they win. Yeah, just by being patient.
Are we entering a bit of a charge pass meta because of this, though? We're seeing this with a lot of teams, like where it's like, as Russ said, the kill op is usually the thing. You go, okay, this team hasn't got many ops, so I'm just going to go kill. We know we can, hopefully, maybe I can go seek and destroy and kill op, and I can double down and just go down that. But we're seeing there's a lot of these tech teams now that trying to kill them actually isn't the answer. It's more just trying to stop them coming back or stop them needing to in the first place. So if I can tie you up and hold you down, that's actually the better option. Like it limits your options because now you need to either teleport back, fall back, and that's messing with APL sort of economy, for your opponent.
Yeah. That's sort of Felgor's, MO is just to tax you. Yeah, every time you charge past with a Felgor, what you're essentially doing is slapping that model with a 2 APL tax. And like either you fall back and do nothing, or you fight me twice and take 8+ damage in the process. You know what I mean? And which either way is a good trade for a Felgor operator. You know what I mean? And so, and then with Raveners just charge passing to bide time.
Yeah, that's what made me think of it. Hearing you talk about how the Raveners, even with 5 operatives, it was like even just your warrior bug. Instead of killing it, I'm just going to tie it up. I'm just going to stay here safe.
Yeah. A hugging meta, I would say, is here to stay. Nemesis Claw with wrist chains as well. You just charge pass, and then like, guess what? Now I'm inside of your house, and you have to play the game and space out a way that next turn I can't charge, kill, then go charge something else, do the same thing again.
Proclivity for murder into the next thing.
Exactly, it's very difficult for people to play around, and so we're in a hugging meta, I would say.
Was there any teams that, obviously you mentioned the AdMech obviously being one, was there any other teams that you're happy to see that like were getting play that maybe weren't before, or any shifts because of the new tac ops? Like teams are like, they're coming back, baby.
Let me pull up. 100%. Yeah. So we got the top 3 was Koptic Circle, me, Tempestus, Aqualons, and then third place was my boy Cameron with Hand of the Archon. with 5 wins and a loss with Hand of the Archon. We were chatting afterward. I was like, dude, 5-1 with Hand of the Archon is more impressive than 6-0 with Koptic Circle. Like being able to, his only loss was Hyrotech, which is incredible.
Tough matchup for anyone.
Hyrotech was 4th place with 5-1 as well. And I think seeing Hand of the Archon up there, I think it speaks more to Cameron's skill than the team. But I do love to see the team up there. Blades of Cain in 6th place, Sanctifiers in 5th. So our top 8 was Canoptek, Tempestus Aqualons, Hand of the Archon, Hyrotech, Sanctifiers, Blades of Cain, Goremongers, and Void Dancer.
So actually, a really good mix. That's
a good
great.
spread. 9th place, Zach with Exaction Squad going 4-2 at a major. I love to see that.
Yeah, Zach.
So like I think for me it would be Hand of the Archon, but we have a good spread. I mean, obviously a lot of the power player teams are there. Sanctifiers, Hyrotech, Canoptek, all these types of things. But yeah, Hand of the Archon is a real love. Gotta love my heart for him.
I dig it. That's awesome. Well, there you go. Congratulations on the big finish, man. That's definitely well played. Back to back, baby.
Second golden ticket of the year. Second golden ticket of the year.
Does that mean you can hand one to one of us? That's how it works, right? You get to nominate.
I wish. If
only. Jeez. It was, exactly. I mean, Russell, just keep grinding. Nose to the grindstone. I said, Russ actually.
Well, you were telling us you have a tournament coming up. Next week. You were saying
you've got a chance.
Would you say? I think you called it a gimme. Is that what you called it?
I said it's a walk-in that I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Breeze. You're gonna.
I am heading into up to Sydney for the KTSO, and let me tell you, there is a real. There's going to be guns from all over up there. It's one of those great ones that a lot of people travel for it. Like obviously myself coming out. There's a few other players from Vic. There's some coming down from Queensland. And they've got quite a good little Shark Tank up there of steel sharpening steel. They come do some work at KTSO and down in Sydney as well. So no, look, I think it's going to be if the golden ticket can fall down 38 spots, I might be half a chance. I'm still battling and struggling to work out what team I want to take because I took Deathwatch to the latest one, which was fun. But I've got a feeling there's going to be a lot of Deathwatch and Canoptic up there. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to be.
Do you have Aqualons painted?
I do.
Ooh.
I would consider those. I would seriously consider those.
Can I learn the different metas?
Yeah.
So like the Australian meta, is there a team that you're seeing a lot of? Is Deathwatch a team that you think you'll see 5 or 6? Like
I think Deathwatch are going to be everywhere.
At the last tournament I went, there was, including myself, there was 4 Deathwatch players, and that was like literally it had only been available for like I think a week. People had got it like the week before, so even that, like if there was a longer lead-in window, you would have had even more people. I think there was 2 Canoptics there. There was 2 Hyrotechs. There was quite a few Nemesis Claw. They definitely seem to be having a bit of an elite resurgence with a lot of the changes. And I reckon I played into them and got a win, but I reckon in terms of brain stress, that was one of the tougher matchups because they just had so many answers to make Deathwatch like elite guys' time very difficult. And my opponent played them very well, and that was a very stressful game. I think it's a bit of luck with that one as well. So Aqualons could be interesting, Ben.
Be a fun one, who's in the running? Now Aqualons, but who else is in the running?
Yeah, well, there was Deathwatch because
Raveners.
Yeah,
Felgor Ravagers. Sorry, not Raveners.
Yes, yeah. So Deathwatch just because I've now had, I've got a 2-day tournament in with them, so familiarity is a little bit stronger, fresh. The Felgors just because I like them, and Ben's been telling me some filthy things about them that I really like the sound of. I did take them last year when I went as well, so it might be, again, I've got a bit of familiarity with them, so like, can I play better? Can I do better with them? And I think they do match up well against some things. The matchups though that do still scare me are the Necrons. I think they're just tough for anyone. And now I guess, does that mean the Aqualons are putting their hand up now as well? So one of those 3 maybe?
I think if you got them painted up, you know what I mean? Might as well bust them off the shelf.
It would be fun.
That feels like a very Reese team. That feels like a very...
Well, I loved my Kasrkin for a long time. I played a lot of Kasrkin when they weren't awful. So
you've done your time.
I've done my time, yeah. So it's... Like, I do like taking new teams to tournaments because I feel, as we were talking about before, it's the best way to learn a team. You know, you like play lots of games. I might not win lots, but every win is feels good because you're learning the team. You're obviously getting better. Yeah. So yeah, Dr. Zero in the chat saying I should try Exaction. Space Cops does sound like fun, but I don't
believe his lies, Reese. Yeah, don't believe his lies.
I don't think they've shown me that they have enough power. Sounds like what a cop
would say, Zach.
Are you a snitch, man?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, look, that's probably as good a time as any. I'll go make sure in the comments, tell me which team you think I should take to the tournament. Why not?
Blow it up.
Yeah, blow it up. Get amongst it on the VODs there, on the Discord, of course. Make sure there's always lots of chat going on in the Battle Brothers tabletop Discord. If you haven't joined that yet and you like your kill team, go and jump over there. There's a bat rep coming out, I believe, soon for you, Russ. Have you got another one in the works? What's the next one? Nah, shaking his head awkwardly. Well,
nope.
So Russ will have one. You've heard it here first. Russ will have one next week. Next week.
Tomorrow. I was meant to be recording one tonight, but I haven't.
Oh, well, look, your last one was great. I enjoyed it. So yeah, well, I know in the meantime, in the lull, just make sure you get out there and play some games while we wait for the meta to
familiarize yourself with the new TAC ops.
Yeah,
because there's quite some reading to be done on some of those TAC op cards.
100%.
So now is the time. Now with the lull, get flank red. I know it's a small novella, but get it red.
Yeah, that'll be the first thing I have to sit down with the glasses on the bridge of the nose. And, a huge thank you to everyone who's been in the chat as well. Dr. Zero, Ultimentra. Hey, GFN, thanks for dropping into the chat there. A lot of the legends, Justin Dukes dropping in and saying g'day. Academic Chris.
Oh, what's up, Dukes?
Yeah, so a lot of Toby Hines, a lot of everyone jumping in. We love having everyone jumping in live to join the chat. If you're listening on the podcast version, thank you so much for lending us your ear holes. We really, really appreciate you joining us. And we'll be back next week, hopefully, with some more Kill Team shenanigans to take you through. Thanks, as always, to the champ himself, Ben from Battle Brothers Campbell.
That's me. Passing it over to Russ from GFN Gaming.
Oh, keeping it casual now. The official casual of the group. We've got two-time Ben, and then the future one and only champ of Australia, Reese, after he walks through this new tournament that he's going to breeze through. But this is me saying goodbye. Thanks for your ears. And passing it over to Reese and Threes to Wound there.
07's in the chat. We appreciate you all, and we'll see you next time.